Okay, guys, we're back with Miss Bia. Now, this is the little Grula mare that I was talking about in the last video when I showed you, introduced you to Anya. That is, beautiful little 2-year-old Grula, done. You can see she has the dorsal stripe right down her back. Really has black skin. Uh, you know, really going to be a nice dark mare when she sheds out. We're kind of in the fall of the year, so they're getting a little hairier and they don't look as good as they do when they first shed out in the summertime, but going to be really nice. Now, the issues that she is having is that it's based on an issue of trust and then miseducation or her not being educated to being handled. Now, the mare is probably going to snorkel a lot. And usually when a horse does that, guys, most of you who have horses, you already know that something's about to happen. They're probably going to make a bad decision or getting ready to cut up, or they see something that they don't understand and they're afraid of it. So they blow, you know what I'm saying, to try to soothe their own nerves. So again, I'm not going to get really overly aggressive with the horse. The same thing that happened with the other horse about 3 or 4 days ago. Got in here, got a little bit of direction. The mare started kicking at me, so that's always a no-go. As you can see, she's really excitable. That's always a no-go. So I took my little training stick, has a little whip on the end of it, and I had to lay into her behind, because the same thing would happen out in the wild or out in the pasture with the lead mare. Usually it's going to be a mare that runs the pecking order, but the lead horse is going to put some sport on the underling to let them know, get back in place. So basically I had to do that, and unfortunately for her it's like that, but fortunately, because for me and for her later on in her life, she'll understand where she belongs in that pecking order. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you what I mean by she's excitable. Right now she's snorkeling at me. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she's snorkeling pretty good. So we're just going to get her to try to step around in a good direction, get her just walking off. That's all I want that mare to do, just walk on off. She don't have to do anything. She don't have to do no rollbacks and spins and turns. I just want the mare to just walk off in a good direction, So I'm going to put my stick up. Of course, that's going to put a little bit of pressure on her and extend her out to the edge of that round. Now I'm just going to let the mare just trot around and just let her relax. Basically, I want her to relax. Now she's looking at things outside the round pen. I got plastic right there. I'm going to get her going. She's going to poop. She's nervous. I don't want her to stop. She can poop, while she's in flight. There's poles and all kinds of stuff out there outside the round pen. This dark mark that I'm walking on right now is where I was running a bunch of pine straw. There's a lot of pines right here, so I had to burn that stuff up, which is a good thing because it's not sure ground to a horse that don't know. So they're going to look at it and try to investigate it, and they can figure it out, and they can just kind of step on off and everything and relax. Just more things that you put in front of a horse to teach them, or desensitize them, to teach them that it's nothing that's going to hurt them, the more they're going to trust that you're never going to put them in a situation where they're going to get hurt, and then, the better fun, better time that you're going to be able to have with your horses, So this little mare right here, she's not really thinking about nothing. She's just forward motion. She's got her ears kind of cocked out towards her in the front of her. Every now and then she'll cock one ear to me. As long as she's doing that, I know she hears me. As far as her listening, I don't think that that's happening right now because she's just reacting, So as long as she's in reaction mode like that and she's not listening, I'm not going to ask her to do anything. I still want the mare to relax, So when you guys get young horses like this, or even older horses, and they're just wanting to just keep going and going and going, let them go, because eventually she'll get tired of trotting way out there before I get tired of walking in that little circle that I'm doing. She's doing all the work right now. So she's trying to slow up a little bit right there. But I'm going to ask her to stop. Never stop your horses at the gate that you come in. Stop them over there on the other side of that round pen. Now, whoa. Whoa. You see how the mare stomps and is excited? That stop wasn't really good enough for me. I didn't really like that. But due to the fact that she's excitable, she don't really know a whole lot, I'll take that for now. I can correct that later. That's not a big deal. So I'm going to pet the little mare right here, you know, let her know that I appreciate you stopping. Now, here's the side that we had an issue with. So, what she was doing, and you guys have seen horses that they'll lunge in one direction, and then they'll stop and try to flip back and go back the other way. No matter what you do, they always, you know, take a few steps, and then they try to flip back, okay? They're not comfortable going in that direction. So I want to get her comfortable going in that direction. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my hand, I don't want her to do anything, she's excitable, but I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to grab her halter, rope halter, guys, the rope halter. I'm going to grab her halter, and I'm going to stay close to that mare. As long as I'm right here by her shoulder, this is a safe spot. Now I want to bend this mare's head to me, and this is how I can establish forward motion without her turning back. I want her to see that whip, so I'm gonna put that whip up there, touch her on the shoulder with the whip, but she can see it flailing over there by her butt, her hindquarters. So I'm gonna keep her going. You know, just kind of touch her with the whip a little bit. Now the last time I did this, she started kicking. Okay, so I had to whip her behind. Now what you want to definitely do is you want to keep that mare bent. So if she wants to stand up and act silly, get some distance, pull her back down, and start over again. Slowly, calmly. Don't get mad, don't get upset. She's stepping off in good forward motion. So that's good for me right there. I didn't ask her to stop. So what I'm going to do is let her head go now. And keep my body positioned here. Hopefully that mare will just go ahead and go and walk on off. But I want to stay back here. This is where she had the problem. So I want to push from the back. She don't have to run. Just trot, I'll take it. As long as she's got good fluid forward motion. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm asking the mare. As long as she keeps doing that and not try to flip back on me, I'll keep her going right there. Now a lot of times what you want to do, if you know your mare or your horse is subject to do that, go ahead and stop them on a good note while they're going forward. Don't give them even a chance to think about that flip back thing and turn back the other way. Okay? So again, never stop them at the gate. I'm going to stop them on the other side of you guys where you're watching right now. Right there. Now whoa. The mare disengaged her hindquarters pretty good right there. Not bad. She didn't jump like the last stop going around in the other direction, but that's good enough. So all I'm doing is trying to gain the mare's confidence, okay? Trying to gain her trust, build her confidence and gain her trust. That's all we want to do. Now, same thing we did with the other horse, because again, these mares don't know nothing, you know? So you don't want to get them excited, you don't want to scare them, because that's when they can be dangerous. They're pretty fast. You know, horses will paw at you and stuff like that, and they can pretty much catch you before you can get out of the way if you're not fluent at working on the ground with her. So she's just made a decision to walk off. I'm going to bring her right back over here, and I'm going to ask this mare to back up just like I did Anya. Back, 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 back. So she's walking forward, so I'm going to just kind of keep her head cocked, back, back, back. Good girl. Right there, it's good enough. She's still thinking. She's still overthinking. I'm going to bring the mare back into me and go ahead and congratulate her. Right there, she's licking her mouth a little bit, so she's trying to listen. She's actually trying. So you guys, the language that I was talking about earlier, know the language. Know when. She's licking and chewing. She's trying to listen. She's trying to understand. But she just doesn't. She's not putting it all together right now. But she'll do it. Just be patient. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep going. Don't stop her. Don't ever stop them on a bad note, because if you stop them on a bad note, you just taught them a bad habit. So I'm going to ask this mare one more time to step around. Good girl. Good girl. Now I'm going to extend that mare on out. I'm going to extend that mare on out. Now I'm going to stop the mare right there. Pull. Disengage a little bit right there. And just go ahead and back her mare up a little bit. Put that whip up there. She took 4 or 5 steps. Very good. Again, these babies don't know nothing. I just got them in. You know, they're part of the family now, which I prefer that, you know. I wouldn't want to, you know, work on a horse that already has issues a horse that already, you know, has a lot of bad habits, and then you have to kind of retrain the horse to get the bad habits off of him, and then start him back to basics. You know, so all in all, nice little mare. She's doing really, really good. This is a far cry of what happened a couple of days ago. She absolutely didn't know anything. So what I want to do, just to be sure in my mind, is go ahead and desensitize this little filly. And how I'm gonna do that is that I'm gonna get something that's probably gonna scare her or be aggressive, and sack her out with it, what we call sacking her out. So this bag on a stick is equivalent to that. She's blowing already. You don't understand it, but it's way over here. If I extend out to her, she's probably not going to come over here to me, which is okay. So all I'm going to do is just pat the ground with that thing. You see she's throwing her head a little bit. She's paying attention to it. She just don't understand. She don't know what's going on. She's looking around. I got my little buddy outside the round pen. Hey, bud. So the mare don't understand right now. Right now she's pretty much stuck. Okay, so there you are. One good thing, even in her scary state, she didn't run away from the bag.
Come on up here.
She didn't run away from the bag. You know, so that's a good thing. Now, I'm going to hold that bag up to that mare and let her see that. I'm gonna go ahead and pet that mare with the end of my little whip right there. Now I'm gonna take the end of that whip and run it right around her ear and run that bag up where she can actually see it. Now if she wants to lunge forward or something like that, and get scared of it, no problem. Very good. I'm not gonna get too aggressive. I'm not gonna snatch it off of her ear or anything like that, you know? So there you go. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. So you guys are gonna have to kind of like listen to me too, because Mike's here. So yeah, I'm gonna try to talk over his voice. The mare's not running away. If you guys can actually see the mare's rear end, she's a very powerful mare. She has a huge muscle on her shoulder.
I want to do that.
I want to do it too. My man want to do it too. Okay, so she didn't go anywhere. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just kind of rub her ears a little bit. Run that whip across her ear. Run that bag up. Let her see that bag right there on the side of her face. She's not flighty. No problem. That's good enough for me. You don't want to overdo it, guys. Don't want to overdo it.
No.
Don't keep going. She did absolutely fantastic. I'm done with the whip. I'm going to give her a big congratulations and then leave her like that. And we'll start over tomorrow and the next day and the next day and do the same thing until we can get her in the saddle. You know, so in a couple of weeks, she needs to be wearing her saddle. And you guys will see that video too. But I think I'm going to shoot another video to show you how well the mares are moving forward and backwards and, you know, crossing over and doing all the things that they need to do when you're riding. Okay? So until the next time, like always, guys, Cowboy Mike, be safe.
Why you get down?